MicroStrategies, Satira Sergio, Beverly Geiger, and Mike Mispelli. We have had each of them sitting in on today's session so they could hear what everyone had to say and come up with some of their own key takeaways from the different discussions. So Lisa, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you. Let me make sure we get the rest of the presenters on screen here. Welcome, Satiris. Lisa, I believe you're on mute.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
Is that better?
Perfect. Hi, Mike.
Hello, Kelly.
I'm here. I don't know if you guys can see me.
I can't see you yet.
Can't get up. Come here. Hey, Bob. Sorry. Sorry. All right. I might have to be off camera. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, so we good, Kel? Should we start? Okay, there you go. So Mike and Satira, it's great to see you. Bev, it's great to hear you as always. So we had some great conversations today. I mean, obviously we were focused on some three great areas with respect to data and analytics and application and integration and security, topics that we know are top of mind for all our customers out there. There you are.
Sorry.
Sorry about
that, guys.
So I know you guys are all listening in on those tracks. I would really love to hear from each of you, you know, what were the key takeaways that you heard, or the most compelling themes that you would want to leave our customers with? Now, I'll start with Mike just because he's the first one in my row.
Gee, thanks, Lisa. It was I was able to sit through the security track, and it was really eye-opening, the amount of things that these security analysts have to deal with. I think my main takeaway is, you know, when we went through the demo for Cloud Pak for Security, you know, one of the things Mark was touched upon, and it kind of kept coming back, was that there's way too many tools, there's too many vendors, there's too much complexity, there's too many alerts. When he went through the Cloud Pak for Demo Security, when he went through that demo, it really showed that by using the IBM technology, you know, you can investigate incidents faster with like a federated search across multiple data sources, while keeping the data at rest. So you're not moving those logs all over the place and having to bring them into a centralized location. You can look at them right where they sit. You can respond faster by using their case management system, which, you know, really integrates a lot of the messaging and communication amongst all the analysts. And it integrates with a lot of non-IBM products, right? So you can use, you know, Carbon Black, QRadar, Splunk. Again, you can look at all those logs at rest where they sit, and you can deploy this technology anywhere. It can be on cloud, it can be on-prem, it can be, you know, in a hybrid or a public cloud somewhere. So the fact that they've, you know, instituted a tool where you have a single pane of glass to leverage all the different tools and make your security analyst that much more productive was really eye-opening for me.
That's great. Satira, how about yourself? What did you take away from data and analytics?
Well, listen, we had a great session. It was with Juan and Bill Shea and Tom McManus from IBM. And really, if you guys didn't get a chance to join that session, I would encourage you to go back and look at the replay. But they were really focused on the analytics side. And I just made copious notes. I don't know how long I have to go through this, but it was a great session.
Sure.
Because they really focused on, you know, building insights and obtaining results from data. So Juan kicked it off by asking, you know, what they've seen changes in the marketplace, and really it's the volume of the data and where it's coming from, right? So from IoT devices, you know, the move from operational, moving into to the business, and then using AI to kind of transform or get business insights out of that data. You know, also talking through, you know, versus the stable versus the dynamic, how everyone needs like immediate response from data when they send a report off. They want it like immediate. They can't wait for not days, let alone hours, to get it back. And I think the, you know, with the cloud, that's kind of enabled things to kind of speed a lot further along to access that data. also how they're tracking that growth of data. You know, we capture every single little bit of data that goes out there, and there's no easy way to separate, you know, from the operational versus what they're looking for to do from the business side. And you're also dealing with regulations like GDPR, how they kind of overcome that and what they can share across boundaries, and really driving that insight for the businesses. So, you know, the question was, how do they share that information with a data scientist? And same with Mike, when they went through the demonstration with the Cloud Pak for Data, you know, really focused on how do you make a citizen data scientist, right? So you don't have to pay that tremendous amount of money to have a real data scientist. It's using that tool to help you using AI to drive information from the data that's being put in, and kind of show you dependencies and information from the model, as it were, that comes out of that. So, you know, whether it's information on saving lives, or there's information on improving your business, that is what that tool did. And they even, believe it or not, they claim that these individuals, because they're data people, they invented shadow IT. And that's why people go out, because they can't wait for infrastructure or the infrastructure team to kind of build those tools out for them. So that was a really good session there. And again, I would encourage people to go back, and if they have time, to look at that session that went through. The second session really focused on Juan and Bill, just talking about real live examples of where they've developed or seen business outcomes from it. And again, focused on the speed of data, it focused on the expectations of the customer. An interesting point was also the employee impact using analytics, how to focus on our employees, whether it's you know, internal, external, even clients, and just kind of understanding the physical, the health, the collaboration of the people. You know, what's their personal experience? How do I support them? How are things, you know, working remote more and more? How do we make it less stressful for employees? And that is becoming more and more of a bigger focus for the analytics team. And the biggest takeaway was, you know, think outside the box. Things are changing. Feed the curiosity of the organization was a great saying that came out. So as an organization, don't be scared to explore, try things you haven't tried before. And there was also, you know, if you have analytics tools today, it doesn't mean lift and shift. We can incorporate them into the Cloud Paks that IBM has developed, and they have a strong strategy for that as well. But overall, I loved it. I didn't think I was going to have as much fun as I did just listening to them, but I would encourage everyone to go back and look at that session if you didn't get a chance to listen. So thank you, Lisa. That's
fantastic. Deb, how about you? You had the application integration track.
Yes, I did. No, actually, you know, I'll tell you, it was amazing the amount of brain power that was on that phone, you know, talking through this conversation. I too encourage everybody to listen to it. There was a lot of great information that came out of it. We talked about two different Cloud Paks. We talked about the application side as well as the integration side. You know, what I kind of took away from it was that, you know, companies are starting from very different points in their cloud journey, and they basically want to be met where they are. And so there's a lot of companies and organizations that have legacy monolithic systems, which are critical to the business, as well as many have, you know, native cloud applications and a combination of both. You know, and we talked about how these companies, they want the choice, the agility, and the flexibility to be able to modernize in place and not have to shift around a lot. When we talked about the Cloud Pak for applications, it was really about providing the flexibility and enabling clients to be nimble and roll out applications to provide customer value quickly. You know, and it was also important to know that the Cloud Pak for applications, or even Cloud Pak for integration, provides a lot of options. So, you know, customers, like I said, are in different parts of their journeys. So it allows them to run existing applications where they are and not have to refactor. It enables them to modernize where they are, but introduce new tooling to those applications. And then it also, the platforms enable for development of new applications. So it's the cloud native technology, but built with microservices. So we talked about all that kind of application development, and then we kind of tied into, then we addressed the integration of all these applications. And, you know, what it was really apparent, and I didn't realize was that much of the work when you're doing a lot of the development is in the actually integration space. And they're saying that the integration takes up about 50% of the time and the cost of building a platform. So it's really trying to, you know, figure out how these applications talk together. And that's really critical for companies today. So like, how do you do that in a very quick way, but you do it so you can be agile and at the same time see value as you go along the way. So, you know, it was talking about, you know, very important how we talked about bringing technology delivery closer to the business, the ability to do POCs more quickly. And I think, you know, they talked a lot about where companies, the big bang is not necessarily the best approach, and it's being able to do it iteratively and do POCs and being able to prove it out quickly and respond to those changing business priorities so that you see the value quickly, but also too that you fail fast, fail quick, right? And then learn from it. You know, and they, you know, also talked about, you know, so this whole thing, these cloud packs for integration and application, it talked about how you modernize the 3 transformational pillars, and that's the people in the process, the architecture, and the technology. So I would say overall, you know, it was a very interesting, you know, conversation. Like I said, a lot of brain power in there. So I urge everybody to listen to the, you know, to the webinar as we tape it. And, you know, like I said, so reaching out to MicroStrategies in conjunction with IBM to help you as you go through your, you know, your cloud journey relative to applications and integration. So I found it to be very informative. So I know a lot there. I took a lot of notes like Satiris, trying to get through them all. So
I have pages of notes. You know, it's kind of funny, Satiris, you said that, I forget exactly what you said in terms of your session being funny or fun. Try sitting with 4 security guys for 2 hours and listening to how much they spare you in terms of, you know, the number of, you know, security threats that have come out of COVID. There's been like a 14,000% increase. So I'd encourage you guys to come and watch the security session because it was super insightful and they had a lot of really good information.
That's great. No, yeah.
Thank you so much, Bev and Satiris and Mike. And I think that it kind of echoes what we kicked off with respect to it is complicated, whether you're talking about security, whether you're talking about data analytics, or whether you're talking about, you know, the applications and how you integrate them to drive core business value. It is complicated, but there's ways to approach it. It's not a one size fits all. And I think, you know, I love the way you said it, Bev, which is organizations need to be met where they are, and they need to make decisions that are the right ones for their business. It's not everyone goes to public cloud or everyone stays on-prem. It's how do we integrate those different approaches? And, you know, it's definitely in partnership. You know, we face that when we talk to organizations daily is how do we integrate the technologies that are available, that are brought forward, like organizations like IBM, and then, you know, with our team to be able to help organizations do that. So I think that it's great that we were able to share some of the nuances around some of the complexities that exist there, but that there's are ways to solve those challenges, and there are great platforms out there to enable organizations to do that. So that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Yeah, that's what I was very impressed with, Lisa, with the actual demo. I know Mike mentioned the demo too, but I think the demos are so valuable, and just the depth of the IBM team combined with our practice leads and technical architects, I think is very, very powerful for anybody who's interested or looking to go further with this, is that there are options out there, and you know, there's a tremendous amount of information available, and people that have done it before that could help navigate these complexities. So that's why I was very impressed with you know, with the team and the actual demo. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so with that, we are going to kind of start winding down for our closing. Mike, I know you had one additional point that you wanted to make with respect to our ability to help organizations with this journey that they're on beyond what we talked about today already.
Yeah. So, you know, one of the things I wanted to mention to everybody is, and Satiris kind of touched on this, but we have 2 business partner innovation centers, one in our headquarters in Parsippany and the other one down in Malvern. It's basically a sandbox for not only our customers, but, you know, our teams here at MicroStrategies as well. And the cool thing is, you know, we have on-prem, we have public cloud, we have private cloud, we have all the different sandboxes set up so that you can, you know, come in and try any of the stuff that you saw today. I mean, basically every single demo that you saw, we have set up in our BPIC, and our teams can come in and run it in conjunction with IBM and yourselves. So you can come in, kick the tires on the technology, and you can just kind of see this slide. This is just a small representation of all the different systems in terms of security tools and analytics tools and cloud tools and all the Red Hat stuff. I mean, all these environments are set up for not only our teams to learn on and kind of play around with, but for our customers to come in and learn how to use the technology and see how it would work in their environment. So I strongly would recommend, reaching out to, MicroStrategies or IBM. So, and, we can come in and do demos and look at the technology at your convenience, if you will. So kick that back to you, Lisa.
No, thank you very much. And I think that demonstrates that we have the ability to help organizations where they are, like we said before, and they can be able to see how these technologies work before they necessarily take the plunge.
Absolutely.
Deb, I know you had some thoughts as well just around kind of the path that the organization can take if they've made some of these investments in IBM already.
That's true, Lisa. And I also, I'll talk about what they can do with IBM, but I also just want to mention that, even if you're currently not an IBM customer today, these cloud packs are something that you can leverage as well. A lot of people think that, this is kind of a migration path and, they can upgrade their current, investments and take advantage of the technology that was showcased today. In addition to that, though, I do urge clients to also look, and if you haven't, talked to IBM and MicroStrategies about IBM and some of your cloud journey and some of the technology, I think it's also a great opportunity for companies that haven't worked with IBM to look at this technology. And and I think there's also a myth out there that a lot of the technology is only for larger companies, and that's not the fact. So I think anybody who's on this cloud journey who want to start out and really want to have a flexible, nimble way to go and to start their cloud journey, to definitely look at the technology. So I just urge that everybody reach out to MicroStrategies. We can help you in conjunction with IBM and help you with that cloud strategy.
Absolutely. Great point. And I just want to reemphasize as well that everything that you've seen here today is going to be on our website. Everything is recorded. And as Devin, Mike, and Satira said, if you're only able to listen to one track or even one section of it because you recognize everyone is busy, please come back and take a look at that, because there was valuable insights, as the team pointed out, that can help you as you do your planning and understand how you're going to approach integrating more cloud technologies into your business. And as well as there's going to be options for any of the speakers that were there. You have the opportunity to connect with them. So if you have a specific question for one of the speakers based upon something that you heard, please feel free to reach out to one of them, and that's going to be available on the MicroStrategies website. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Satira, to bring it to closure.
Oh, I'm sitting between everyone on lunch. Thank you so much, Lisa, and thank you for hosting it today. So really, as an organization, our goal is always to help, our existing customers and potential new customers, navigate the complexities of technology and drive valuable outcomes, for your businesses. And today we really focused on the cloud, which is a discussion I think every one of us is having. And hopefully today we're able to shed some light on some of the questions you had, or if not, we've given you the opportunity or the avenue where you can find out more information. Again, the breakouts covered analytics, business applications, security, and even a portion of it covered managed services as well, which I think is critical moving forward in this from a people resource perspective. So there was a tremendous amount of information shared today, a lot of experience gathered this morning together. So I want to thank all of you for taking the time and joining us this morning. We demonstrated the number of tools from IBM, and I would encourage you to really look at those Cloud Pack tools and demos that they offered today and dig a little further if you haven't already done that. So I want to thank all the IBM team, the Cloud and Cloud Pack team, for your time today, for working with MicroStrategies and pulling this together. I'd like to thank, obviously, the practice leads, our architects that did the sessions and had the topics and kind of tried to, like I said before, show some insight into what's involved and answer some of your questions going forward. I do want to say a very big thank you to our marketing team, Kelly, Colleen, and the team for coordinating this and shuffling us around and getting us everyone into spot and for putting this all together. It's a tremendous effort. And as Lisa said, if there are any questions, reach out to your, MicroStrategy solution executive who invited you or sent you the invite, or if you can't it came through a marketing invitation, and please go to our website for more information to see the replays. But above all, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, stay safe, stay well, and be healthy. And thank you again for joining us today from the bottom of our hearts, MicroStrategies and IBM. Thank you for investing the time this morning.